here's a piece of information. So it turns out I have no vote anywhere for anything. I thought I could vote in the city election, but I can't. And I can't vote in the UK election because I've lived outside the UK for more than 11 years.
Oh.
And I can't vote in the German election because I refused to become German. And I can't vote in the city election for the city I live in because I'm no longer an EU citizen. So I literally am disenfranchised. I have taxation without representation.
That's odd.
And literally the only way for me to get my vote back is to either move to another EU country or to become German or go home.
That's so odd.
Right, I have to load into... Oh, it's loading practice 1. Okay.
Yeah,
I hope it's bringing you along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm on to practice 1 as well. Apologies, everyone, for my shitty internet today. That's the second broadcast in a row that's been a problem. And I had issues this morning with internet as well. I think maybe my router might be on its way out.
I had problems earlier today with my screen just cutting out. It's going completely black. I'm glad that, touch wood, so far that hasn't happened. But do you remember a few years ago on the podcast, I had a controller that had lag. So if I was pressing left and it lagged, it would keep pressing left for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I crashed at every Grand Prix, but like for an excusable reason, which I can't say is the case anymore. Right, let's blitz through these quick practices. Stop wasting everyone's time. Let everyone get on with their lives. Right, I'm digging into my my bag of news here because there was some other stuff I wanted to talk about. I'm trying desperately to remember what it is. Something F1 related, probably. Oh, that was it. So, distinguished and elderly gentleman, Fernando Alonso, he says that Alpine isn't the fastest midfield team, but it is the best.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what he means by that. Because, you know, maybe they're the best at badminton. I mean, what's he talking about? Surely being the fastest team in the midfield is what distinguishes you as the strongest team in the midfield.
I do feel like they are the team that is, well, maybe not the team that's doing it the most of the time, but there's specific times where it feels like they pull everything together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, because we know, like Sauber, Alfa Romeo, they've been dropping the ball left, right, and centre.
Absolutely.
So from that standpoint, yeah, they're more together than a team that isn't together at all. But still, like, I know Esteban Ocon won a race and he led the entire Grand Prix, or most of it. So you could say that definitely is on merit. But still, like, I think it's incorrect to say they're the strongest midfield team. I think that's just nonsense.
No. Is Ferrari included in that set as well, or are we giving Ferrari front-running status?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because Ferrari are always sort of grouped with the front runners, even when they're not there. A courtesy that wasn't extended to McLaren during their period in the wilderness. No.
I think because one of the things that's come out for me this year is that just how important smooth operations are making the difference. Where the field gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, those dropping the ball things make so much more of a difference. Alfa Romeo would have scored so many points this year had it have not been for so many issues that they've had. Operationally, strategically, I don't know why I said it like that, sorry. And then the other word that I was going to say, and driver errors, obviously, as well. Being a big part there. Tsunoda dropping it every 5 minutes, but then also from a strategy point, Gasly's not always been able to show his qualifying pace and have it translate to races because they keep screwing things up or tripping over each other. Aston Martin, I go from one week to the next not really knowing their pace. And to some extent, the same with Alpine as well. But when you look at how it operationally all congeals together, I feel like Alpine are stronger than Aston Martin currently at the moment, who I feel are going through a bit of an odd year transition of being without Perez in the helm, switching to whatever Vettel wants to change, plus now we've got big money in, we need to start our transformation from being the plucky underdogs to actually this is now us as a big front runner all the way through, and that takes a while to switch your brain with.
That's true, actually. Aston Martin are the one team I really struggle to honestly place, but I don't think throwing the money at it is necessarily going to solve this problem, because from what I hear, the problem is really on the morale level with them. That the engineers are unhappy because previously they've always been allowed here's your budget, design the best car you can. And now Big Daddy Stroll's in town. Well, he told them to copy the Mercedes, which already they weren't happy about. So if you imagine you've gone from having fairly free reign creatively to now being told, look at the fastest car and copy it. And I can believe, he runs a tight ship. I have no difficulty believing that at all. So, yes, they've broken ground on this fantastic, fancy new factory, and he wants to challenge for championships. He wants to make it the British Ferrari, and I love that vision. But I think they'll have a lot of staff turnover to go through before they get anywhere near there.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that teams had, even during the financial doldrums, is they've had a bond that ties them together that has enabled them to deliver beyond their budget and their small size. They've consistently punched above their weight in car design. And it's the Sauber problem all over again, like when Sauber inherited that Ferrari and didn't know what to do with it. So it was a once competitive car that became mediocre / crap in the hands of another team.
Yeah. Tricky.
I'm not sure about that, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is saying that McLaren's at both ends of the spectrum. I think Daniel Ricciardo was under-delivered, but honestly, I think McLaren have been reasonably consistent.
I think that's why they're punching so far above their weight, is that operationally they are together and pushing things along, because outside of Danny Rick not performing well because the car's got a fine window for him, I can't see any other big fundamental things that they dropped the ball on this year. Last year, I think they dropped the ball quite a few times, but this year I've not really seen it.
No, I mean they've really been on it, right? They've absolutely maximised their results. They've taken the chances when they've come up. It's really hard though, because we've got a formula change and it's quite a big one. So I don't know if all this effort's going to be for naught.
Well, we're going to have a much wider grid again. We're going to be looking at the haves and have-nots for the first couple of years of a new formula. We always do, which is a shame, because although fundamentally I'm good, we can have cars that will run closer together now. Great. I'm now thinking at what cost for field spread.
Yes.
So it's going to be a bit tradey, and then at the end of that, once we all close back up again, it'll be time for a formula change. And I'll be like, no. But such is the life.
Yeah, you're totally right, Beetlejuice. The bond completely went when they fired Checo, and I know that really upset his half of the garage as well. They were very annoyed about him being let go, and I'm still a bit annoyed by it.
Same.
Do you think if he'd stayed, Aston Martin would be in a better position?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
And do you think he would be viewed more favourably?
Yes. One of the things that's kind of surprised me a bit is Checo's kind of qualifying spot. What is going on with my fuel mix? 14 laps. Jesus
it looks to me like it's going to rain, so...
Yeah, that's why I've gone straight out. Because it was 22 or 23% chance of rain. Try for the race, though. I think so. And I know that there's like a... Oh, my God. Oh, no.
What?
How's my car... Right. What the fuck was that? How is my car perfectly fine after... You go back and watch that replay when you see it again. Literally,
I
Schumacher
saw the tyre marks across the track at a very strange angle.
So Schumacher smacked into me whilst I was facing him in the wrong way. Go for it, mate.
Thanks, mate.
And I think he's damaged. I'm not. I'm perfect. I'm golden.
Oh, top-notch stuff, Codemasters. And he's driving slowly, getting in my way, of course he is. Messing up my line into that corner.
Ooh.
Right, place your bets now, everybody. What are the chances that at some point in this qualifying session I'm going to drive at full speed into a gaggle of cars that are driving very, very slowly?
180. Oh. Oversteer.
I actually have a setup for this track, but I'm driving with the default setup because I want the stability. I really want to finish this Grand Prix without embarrassing myself, if at all possible.
I think my season is just going to be Takuma Sato 2005. Epically shit.
Well, you know what you have to do. You have to disappear and go start being awesome in IndyCar.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, actually, I have been really enjoying IndyCar this season. I've been watching it live, which is kind of unheard of for me in Indy. I just used to catch the highlights. Marcus Ericsson now out of the championship battle with one round to go, sadly. But
you know, he made it there. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And done another fine job. And Roman Grosjean's overtakes around Laguna Seca were, frankly, like, humblingly outstanding.
I'm glad about that. Because, you know, I think we forgot how good he used to be.
There is a move that he does whilst trying to lap Jimmy Johnson, where he basically just launches over a curb and then smacks into him in the air and then just drives off. And I was like, what the hell have I just seen? It was like a stunt car. It was hilarious.
I'm glad to hear he's also still having accidents as well, because that means all the mean-spirited jokes I've made about him over the years are still warranted. I don't have to go back and, like, redact them.
Well, he made a boo-boo, actually, in practice, so he crashed the safety car, or pace car, in the pit lane.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, so some things don't change. But see, the thing is, like, he did used to legitimately be really good. So, you know, I blame the car he was in for a lot of it, but still, like, his last few years in F1 were pretty inexcusable. So I was pleased to see him doing quite well in IndyCar, but I actually thought his crashing days were behind him, but it seems not.
So this game's fucked up. So I've just seen you drive across the start-finish line, and now I'm watching you get peeled into the pit lane.
Yeah, I did drive into the pits.
So confused. Twilight Zone.
I was actually going to set another lap initially, but then I lost a bunch of time in one of the corners. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I am currently in pole position by quite a large margin.
Oh, wow. Are you going to bookend for wins and wins?
That would be the appropriate end to this season, wouldn't it?
Just turn up for the beginning and end.
I put new tyres on. I'm going to get out immediately while I still have confidence in this track and before... I'm still paranoid it's going to rain. The game says it's not going to, but, you know, since when do we trust that?
That is true. Yeah, I thought I got it wrong down it. Yeah.
So I want to tell you a story now.
Ooh.
Some of you may know, I used to be involved in music and everything, and I had a bit of a, let's say, a misspent youth. Plenty of exposure to, let's say, society's dark underbelly. It's come up a few times in the last year or so because, like, psychedelics are really gaining in popularity, and like people are microdosing and so on. And like, there's a buddy of mine who's like, "Oh, you should try it. It's supposed to help your productivity, right?" But everyone I've ever dealt with who's messed with psychedelics has ended up really fucked up. And there's this one guy, right? He took acid once, just once, and he's been in a mental hospital dribbling ever since. So it's kind of a good advertisement, right?
Bringing endorsement.
Why your parents tell you don't do drugs. But before that, he was pretty messed up on weed, right? And the general consensus is weed's pretty harmless as long as you're sensible with it, right? If you're getting tanked every day, then it fucks with your brain. He once told me, like, deadly serious, and I want to see what everyone thinks of this theory, that Frisian cows, the ones with white and black patches on, if you skinned all the cows in the world and sewed their skins together, it would make a map of Earth.
Okay.
How does one even begin to formulate a theory like that? But like, deadly seriously, like, this was at a house party, and it wasn't even that late in the evening. Everyone was just eating nibbles and having polite conversation. And he's like, "So, cows, right?" "Yeah, I know cows. The black and white cows." "Well, if you take all the skins off and you stitch the skins together, it makes a perfect map of the world." I'm sorry, what the fuck did I just hear?
Oh, funny. I wonder if I suppose you have to line them up nicely so that they make all of the countries and continents.
Well, like, I understand my experience isn't representative, right? But the life lesson I've taken from my life is do not do drugs, kids. Really don't. Like, I'm not saying that like as some sort of hippie nerd fucking loser. It's like first-hand experience, because everyone I know who's dabbled in it, like, from back home, they're all fucked up, like really fucked up. There's a girl I know who took so much ketamine that she is still to this day in pain when she urinates because it messes up your bladder. So for the rest of her life now, it hurts when she pees. It's like, how many good nights out is that technically worth? That's a price too high for me. Like, not that I'm a fan of peeing necessarily, but the fact that it doesn't hurt is a convenience I've never thought about having to appreciate before.
No, that's true.
Ken Knight's asking what we're driving next year. Do you know, neither of us know, mate. We're going to figure it out at the end of this Grand Prix. Because the thing is as well, like, it's not just our decision. Like, the teams have to have budget to hire us. So in my single-player career mode, I've talked at length about how if you do too well, then only Mercedes or the team you're at can afford to hire you, because for some reason the team you're at can always rehire you, even if it's Haas. And like, McLaren will say we can't afford you, but Haas can. So that's part of the reason I'm taking it so seriously, because whatever team we move to next, we're probably stuck at for the duration of the playthrough. But also, like, in my second season, I had a really good season at Alfa Romeo, and my second playthrough, and I was valued reasonably at like $2.5 million. So that's usually well within a reasonable budget for most of these teams. And McLaren couldn't afford me, or wouldn't afford me, I should say. Neither would Ferrari, until I lowered my wage demands to the very lowest. and I got turned down by Aston as well, and Red Bull. So it's not even a case of them having the money outright. It's like it depends who else they want to sign and what they want to spend their money on, I guess. I don't know how the AI decides. Oh wow, Bottas is a little bit too close for comfort. But I'm going to go out again now because I don't want to get caught in traffic again.
See, I've not had to deal with much of this because I've only played in my team mode. I've not actually done the driver career stuff, so it's just me basically trying to decide which F2 driver I want to buy next time around so that I don't have to spend my money on anything else. Although for season 3 I've kept my F2 driver for another season because they've done quite well. So
I have to say, like, I've not played my team all the way through a full season yet, but I'm most of the way there. And because I went with Honda Power, I took Marino Sato, and he's actually doing really well. Like, normally there's a big performance deficit between me and my F2 teammate, but in this case he's actually done pretty well. But the thing is, like, the shine's really come off my team mode for me, because it feels too easy.
Yeah.
And there's no challenge to it. You know what I mean? Like, the sponsor negotiations seem really, 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 really non-existent, because they are. Driver negotiations seem really lame as well. Oh, my stream's dropped.
Oh, you're having troubles now too. Ooh, snatched a break.
And pressing the stream button again has meant that I lost part of my front wing.
Oh no. That's more like it, Smithy.
Where are you?
P3.
Oh, good man.
My setup here is nice, but it's very fragile, so I just need to be able to not be terrible. Oh, sorry, I've just seen you've popped in there, Sam. Nice to see you, mate. I'll take a look at that in a sec.
I've really balls this lap, like, properly. Luckily, there's time for one more.
There he is.
I hope my stream's back up. I don't have time to check. My stream deck says I'm live, but
go away, Stroll. Right.
do you know, I think for the second qualifying in a row, I did my best lap right at the start, and now I can't repeat it.
That's so stupid. The AI is so stupid. He's broke coming out of the final corner. Surely, is he going into the pits? What was the point of that? Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, sorry. Having a mental breakdown.
I've knackered my lap. Are we back, Beetlejuice?
Sam Meller. Hi guys, quick question for you both. In relation to the driver lineups for next season, the Aston Martin lineup is one that feels the most underwhelming. Would you agree?
Yes, actually. Do you know, I had the exact same thought, Sam. When I saw the announcement, I was like, I don't care.
I think for me, also, it felt like a foregone conclusion unless Vettel was going to retire because he'd had enough. I'm still confused. Like, my like of Sebastian Vettel as a human continues to grow and grow. My thoughts on Sebastian Vettel as a driver continues to swing wildly, and I think if it hadn't have been for the podium, I don't know quite what I would have thought of this season for him at all. So yeah, I agree. Underwhelming.
Well, I mean, I think it's also because Stroll's not going to go anywhere while his dad owns the team. I don't know who the other investors are in Aston Martin or how much unilateral control he has, but I wonder how long he can continue to justify that.
And I guess so long as he can say, well, he's been driving in and around the same speed as a 4-time world champion, you can get away with it. But at some point, I think if we assume Vettel is declining, at some point I would need Stroll to be doing better than Vettel, in the same way that I was hoping Giovinazzi would be doing better than Raikkonen. And because they're not, it kind of makes you go, and pushes it all out. I'm not going there again.
I'm really hoping some traffic gets in the way of Valtteri Bottas, because he's the only person super close to me, and I want pole position. I'm currently still the fastest man on track, and I haven't properly binned it yet.
Neither of us have gone in. Do you know what I'm going to do? If it lets me, I pop on my old tyres and go to... No, don't worry.
I'm watching Bottas because I want to see his sector times. 16.7. Oh shit! Yeah, he's up on me in sector 1. This isn't going to go good.
But who's that
Stop
ahead of
stealing
him?
my pole position, you Finnish bastard!
Oh, it's a Haas ahead. I don't think he will. Or is that an Alpha?
Oh no, it's a Haas, and yeah, he is caught in traffic.
As long as that doesn't then give him a slipstream up the hill, I think we're all right.
Let's see how much time he loses here.
Mind you, it's going to do that. Session ended. Let's do a prediction.
35.4. Oh yeah, he's lost a lot of time there. I have a 34.7.
I bet he still gets pole.
I think I've held on to pole.
Nice. Nope.
It must be by a very narrow margin. If I... Oh no, second. But by 0.019 of a second. You bastard, Lewis Hamilton. But it's still a front row start.
No time for Perez and Schumacher. What happened there? Oh, terminal damage. Perez, illegal blocking Giovinazzi. Schumacher collision with Perez. Where did all that happen?
It must have been where they brake and drive really slowly.
Yeah, they must have all smashed into each other.
So I'm glad it's not just me who gets caught out by that. All right, but that's really, really good. Right, front row start can definitely work with that.
P5 for me. I can aim for a top 10 with that.
Right, so as long as no one drives into me from the back, we might be onto something here.
I still... Wow. My own capabilities of not dropping it, notwithstanding.
And then we get onto the fun final part of the stream where Sam and I negotiate our contracts in real time. Honestly, I'm actually excited to see where we both end up. I am excited. I'm going to push for high wages, I can tell you that.
It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season.
Oh, you're being interviewed.
She asked me about Haas. Clearly they're just like, well, you've not scored a point. Boom. Thinking of race seats, actually, so saying about how Aston Martin's lineup was underwhelming, I'm still intrigued about what's going to happen with this, the two Alfa Romeo seats. Callum Ilott put in a decent account of himself in IndyCar, signed up with the new Junkos team, who have got themselves a 3-year sponsorship collection so that they can basically so they run Indy Lights as a team, so now they've got like a IndyCar team so that they can have like this whole progression thing. So I think Callum Ilott's pushing at an open door for a 2022 seat if he wants it there, so that I think completely removes him from the equation. So yeah,
it might be the best thing for his career. I was going to say it's a shame, but honestly, maybe IndyCar is a better place for him for his career long term. When I look at how many drivers struggled in F1, maybe that's the way that becomes favoured by most drivers, because there's much more, not total parity, but you know, there's a lot more competitiveness sort of organically built into the formula. Well, I mean, I keep thinking now that Zhou's going to get it because of all the money, but now apparently Fred Vasseur is not happy because Zhou wants a 2-season deal and he's not prepared to give him one.
Yeah, because I think they're after Piastri for 2023. I had to think of what year it was. Yeah.
We're in the future times now, and it gets confusing.
Ouch. Yeah.
BLG is asking if one of us signs for Aston, will Cody's replace Vettel or Stroll? Well,
that's a good point.
Welcome back, Kenyon. Well, what I discovered in my career mode actually is when I moved to Ferrari, Charles Leclerc outscored Carlos Sainz 56-26. And I outscored both of them in an Alfa Romeo. So the logical thing would be to say, keep Leclerc, drop Sainz, sign me. Because I'm a fraction of the cost of even Sainz. But no, they dropped Leclerc, who went to Alfa Romeo to replace me, and partnered me with Sainz.
It's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious.
Why am I no longer on the front row?
How do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming?
Did I do something naughty?
Don't think so. Did you swap out any parts?
Nope. Oh no, I am on the front row. It was just it was a weird angle.
Oh, okay.
Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't.
Let's enjoy the starting grid with me at the front.
Yes. Oh yeah, I've got you on my pre-race.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and McKinnon completes the front row.
McKinnon completes the front row.
Bottas, Leclerc, Smith and Sainz, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris and Pierre Gasly, Raikkonen, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Giovinazzi, Latifi, Mazepin, Sergio Perez and Yuki Tsunoda.
See, look at that, George Russell last again. Like, what have they got against George Russell? Perez and Tsunoda didn't even set a time. But somehow George is behind them.
I like the way how he's posing this game for the grid lineup stuff is always like, yes, my master, kind of.
Beetlejuice is saying if they want Piastri, they should do it now, because if they wait for 2023, it will be for Poucher.
Sorry, that's who I meant. Sorry, they're after Pourchaire, not Piastri. It's because Piastri's been doing well lately and it's between Piastri and Zhou for the title at the moment in F2. So it's kind of like you expect one or the other to be signed somewhere along the line, but I think they're both going to end up getting overlooked for people that a bit like that meme with the girl walking down the street. He's going to end up the guy looking at someone else entirely.
I mean, to me, just Zhou in the Alfa Romeo makes pretty much zero sense, except on the basis of, you know, giving him Formula One experience.
Off.
But, you know, Alpine don't have a feeder team. Honestly, though, I would have thought Zhou to Williams with an Alpine tie-up would have been a real no-brainer, but Williams disagreed.
Agree.
And I guess they're trying to get away from this reputation of, you know,
pay
drivers. And I know Latifi's a pay driver, but I mean, I think Latifi this year has earned his seat for next year.
I agree.
particularly because it provides some consistency that you've got a driver from this year in the car next year, so you know how to benchmark the new car. I think it will be Latifi's last year. But if I was in charge at Williams, I would have at least considered losing that benchmark in favour of 30 million quid and possibly free engines, or at least heavily reduced engines, because we know that Mercedes now are going to be making Williams pay their way since they signed Alexander Albon. And they're at a disadvantage in a way because there's clauses in the contract that restrict how much data Albon's allowed access to.
What? I've not heard that.
There's clauses to protect Mercedes IP because, I mean, let's not forget, Red Bull are going to actually be a sponsor of Williams next year. There's going to be Red Bull branding on the car, apparently. So a Red Bull-backed driver with a Mercedes power unit and working with Mercedes, they're obviously not very happy about that. So the only way the deal wasn't vetoed was through these clauses. And I guess also, I don't know, maybe like also Williams honouring George Russell's contract and all that. I don't know. I think Mercedes have been a trustworthy partner for Williams. Like, they didn't airlift Russell out when it makes sense.
Yeah.
Go on, what's happened to you?
I've just shat myself, that was all.
We apologise for Simon shitting his pants live on stream.
There is a proper skid going down my sofa. That was... Let's just say I'm doing moves like I'm not caring after my turn one fuck up.
Well, it's the last race of the season, so... Oh, good, I've got the Durs. I might actually get past Hamilton now. Have to make sure I overtake him at a sensible place and not be a twat. It's very hard for me. But also, this is a chance, hopefully, to finally show real world people that there's a reason I've been doing this so long and I'm actually not that terrible at the game. I can drive and I can win. See, the thing is, Ludovine, if you've been watching last season, I did really well last season. I was killing it. This season, bit of a twat. Tell you what, that Mercedes has amazing pace out of some of these fast corners. That's where he's gaining all his time back. Because in the tighter, twistier sections, I'm all over his gearbox, but we have nowhere near the engine power. Just not at all.
Oh, fuck.
I wonder if the undercut makes sense here. Like, I can't tell if I'm losing time behind him because I'm being so cautious on the brakes that maybe it makes sense to come in a lap earlier.
A new strategy is available
And, you know, stratage my way out of this problem.
Undercuts do work in this game.
But also, then, it depends where I come out in traffic, right? Maybe it's better to hold on, get the most life out of my tyres possible and actually do a longer first stint. Although chat is telling me do it. But then again, chat also told me to mix Red Bull and beer, so I'm not sure chat's the best source of advice.
Wow, it's going to be a 0-point season for me. I've damaged my front wing. Mazepin's
where are you?
Cunt.
You didn't say that, Canaanite, but Beetlejuice did. And then I'm very easily influenced, so I did it. To be fair, it was delicious. It was delicious. But still, the point is that advice emanated from chat. And now, aside that and all the bacon sandwiches that I enjoy, and I do enjoy a lot of bacon sandwiches. Oh, I've got a new strategy. But it means I'm going to die young. Thankfully, though, all the chemicals in the Red Bull will preserve me perfectly. Confirm change. I'm so good on my tyres, and I am, that I'm getting 2 extra laps of life out of these.
Nice.
But messing around with the MFD has cost me some time to Hamilton, so I'm going to have to try and recharge my battery through most of the lap. I know I keep cutting that corner, but apparently the game doesn't detect it, so I'm calling it's fine.
Which one's that?
It's the latter part of turn 1.
Ah, yes. Whoa. I must have side pod damage. This car is all over the shop.
Oh, I tell you what, side pod damage is one of the worst damages you can get in this version of the game because it adds so much drag. I was astonished. So far, touch wood, I have not damaged this car on this particular event.
Why just say it now?
It's funny actually because as I said that, I did run wide in a fast corner and went out onto the painted green surface that is instant death, but I managed to hold it. Do you know how I said I was going to charge my battery and be like a good racing driver? Didn't do any of that. None of it.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I had the pace for some good points today. I buggered it in both.
I actually lost driver acclaim at the last event, so I'm wondering if Ferrari will even sign me because I think you need driver acclaim of a certain level to be considered, but we will find out.
I agree.
The good news is, though, if I do sign up Ferrari, then I will eat pizza on every stream.
There's incentive.
It's a shame Force India aren't around anymore because that would be a great excuse to tell myself for constant curry action.
Constant curry action. CCA, baby.
Yeah, that's what powers me through life.
What will be powering me through tonight for work? I'm doing an all-nighter, so it's why. So I finished work at 5. Quickly ran to Lidl's, which is a sentence you don't normally say out in public.
No, I was going to say people run away from Lidl. They don't run to Lidl.
I run to it. The only other place apart from perhaps Wilkinson's where you can get a wheelbarrow, a hedge trimmer, a potted plant, but also some spuds and broccoli at the same time, and some crisps.
Wilkinson's is the stupidest supermarket in all the world. I have no understanding of how that business model makes any sense, but they're everywhere, so we're stuck with them. Even Lancaster had a Wilkinson's. I'm getting really close to Hamilton now. But there he goes again, fucking off into the sunset on that corner.
There he goes. But yeah,
I've got the Durs on him though. I've got the Durs on him. Right, prepare yourselves, prepare your rectums for a bold move.
Uh-oh.
And I chickened out. Because he was going to turn in on me and then I'd ruin what's going to be my only salvageable performance this season. See, this is the problem. Like, now I'm too scared to attempt overtakes because the AI has fucked me so hard in the last Grand Prix when I've dared pull alongside them that I'm sat here now breathing in his gearbox fumes. And to top it off, Jeff's just told me that my tyre grip is falling away. Doesn't feel like it is actually, but that's the sort of thing you say right before you lose all grip and crash into the barrier, so I will be a little more careful. Pit, you bastard, you've already got a knighthood, you don't need this win. Pit and get out of my way so I can drive at full speed.
There's something fundamentally wrong with this setup. It's still lighting up the rear tyres when I'm in like 5th gear. I've clearly got one of my settings is not quite right.
He has pitted. He's out of my way.
Yeah.
And immediately, I'm on my fastest lap, and then I fuck it up by reading that out. Right, I have to charge my battery now because my next lap's my in lap, and it's gotta be a cracker. By which I mean, good, not that crime show with Robbie Coltrane being all fat and detective-y.
Loving those niche references.
It's been a long day. See, really the right career move for me, in real life, not in the game, would be if I could retire. I'd make a great retired person. I've been training my whole life for it.
Which is something that sounds like a no-brainer, but like my dad has retired and he doesn't know what to do with his life anymore and just seems like a husk of like a former human. He doesn't know what to do with his life either. He's just like, shall I just get drunk in the corner? I'm not sure. To which my mother's answer is no. But like,
no,
he doesn't.
Come on, you've got license to go around and be a complete dick to everybody. You can go to the cinema at daytime and watch movies for cheap. I mean, anything you've wanted to learn in your life, you could do. I mean, yeah, it's harder to learn at that age, but still, you could do it. You could take up painting tasteful nudes and become like, a creepy old man in the art class. Like, there's so many opportunities. I mean, the thing I'm most looking forward to, though, is going to the bank and the supermarket and everything at rush hour. So I'm holding up, like, I could go at any point during the day, but I'm going to go at the exact same time anybody who has a full-time job has to go. So I'm just getting in their way. That's what's going to get me through retirement, assuming I live that long. I mean, we both have... we're both from Scottish families, so statistics are against us, but...
That is true. Funny enough, actually, so part of the new team that I've taken over managing recently, I call them my Falkirk posse, or Falkirk posse. It's a group of elderly ladies who are all based in Falkirk in Scotland. And when they get rabbit in, what I've ended up having to do, because it's all on Microsoft Teams, we've only just recently got this plugin that live translates. So I've had to put that up because their accents are so strong sometimes. And there's some people who are like London based and they just go, I don't know what's going on. So I've just gone, we're recording this for team members who aren't here today so that we can then have up the subtitles on the bottom.
Your dad is clearly not giving you enough exposure to Scotland because you should be able to understand. Come on, your dad's Scottish. You should be able to understand people from Falkirk.
That's true. And he's from Glasgow as well. But he...
And Glasgow, I mean, come on, Glasgow is like the hardest of the Scottish accents. I mean, that's really glottal and intense.
That is true.
I'm disappointed in you, Simon. All of Caledonia weeps. Who's leading the race?
I don't know.
Oh, it's me.
Hey!
I was so used to being fucked over that I didn't realise that my pit strategy worked, and I did come out ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Alright, how many laps do I have to fuck it up in the most embarrassing way possible?
6.
Oh, that's plenty of time. I'm ahead of him, and I've got one less lap on my tyres.
Okay,
Smashing.
is 2.7 seconds.
And I've been able to put some charge in my battery. And because he probably is going to catch me, because I'm driving a little bit more cautiously, I am going to try and save that charge to defend with. Skibbity-bip-bop. Sorry, I don't know why I felt the need to randomly scat for everybody there, but it's been a weird stream from the moment it began. I'm super tired today.
No.
Not in my usual frame of mind.
Is you preparing for the second half of your journey to retirement?
Yeah. Well, it's true, I am halfway there, although by the time I
100%.
get there, they'll have moved the goalposts again. I'll have no
Yes.
state pension and have to work till I'm 85. Joking aside, I'm genuinely convinced that I'll never get to retire. It doesn't seem like something that will be allowed to happen to me. Either I'm going to die from my poor diet, or they're going to keep pushing the retirement age back so far that I never make it. That's my presumption.
I feel like the latter is probably most realistically going to happen, considering just the way of the world. I have no... I was going to say scruples. That's not what I meant. No, I have no scruples in this matter. Agatha Christie.
I will do whatever it takes. Crush any motherfucker who gets in my way. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Doris. You work till you're dead if you want to. The thing is as well that I have inherited a characteristic from my dad, which is simultaneously wanting to not work, but being mentally incapable of relaxing. So my dad retired, quote unquote, like 4 years ago now, and he still works full time. In fact, sometimes more than full time. He will not retire. He just can't relax. I'm exactly the same. So, you know, there's basically 3 roads to death for me, and none of them are that fun.
That was cheeky, but fuck it. No, Lance.
Good job. Nice overtake.
I've just had the fastest lap of the race, and I've driven so quickly that I can no longer see Hamilton behind me. What is going on?
Woo, redemption.
I'm increasing the gap on the car behind by, I think he said 0.6 per lap. What is going on? How have I managed to bookend this season with a win and fastest lap at the first Grand Prix, and then it looks like the same at the last Grand Prix? That is a ridiculous season. I do love this track though.
I do.
It's got far more flow to it, like natural flow, than most of the other tracks in the game. Oh, here's another question. Are we going... And I'll read your question in a minute, Kane, because I can see a question mark, but that's about all I can make up. Are we going to add Portimao to Season 2?
Oh, yeah, good shout. So I would say yes, just because I feel like we should. I'm doing it on purpose for my career... my team playthrough. For my Season 4, which is when it will impact. But what I've been doing is I've been going on to... I can't remember the actual name of the website, but I've been going onto a website like Wheel of Fortune Roulette Wheel and spinning it 10 times each season to see what my calendar will be.
Oh, that sounds brutal.
And it's horrific because...
Like Monaco, Azerbaijan,
Yep.
Marina Bay, Abu Dhabi.
By about 0.3 a lap.
And you can really tell like which circuits I'm happy with and which ones I'm really not at the same time. But yeah.
Here's a question. Has Vietnam been officially cancelled, like forever?
I don't think it's been officially cancelled forever, but I just don't ever see it ever happening.
No, me neither. Who are we dropping then to make way for Portugal? My vote goes for Suzuka because I love it, but in this version of the game it's horrible to me, so maybe not.
I mean, well, it gives you the option to do the whole calendar again. Do we want to like do a whole voting of everything?
Good question. Because I was going to say, like, I like the system that we employed. Sorry, I'm very tired. I like the system we employed for this season, but then it hasn't worked in our favour picking only tracks that we like because, well, you've not scored at all, and I've only scored at 2 races out of 10. So, still though, only the 3rd season or 4th season in 12 that I've beaten you.
Yeah, you've done really well.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
But you're inherently faster than me on this game. By like a good few tenths, if not like upwards of half a second per lap sometimes. If not more.
Is this the last lap?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Which is not good because... Hey! The pain of being able to see points after having to change a front wing and everything.
So, chat have asked for unilateral control of our calendar for next season.
Oh, God.
Well, okay, I say fine. I say fine. How many have we...
Can we have one track that we definitely ask for?
Alright, yeah, how about that, right? Simon and I pick one track apiece, and then chat, you pick the other 8. I guess 4 from your channel, Simon, and 4 from mine?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've got 4 people about to ask actually for this one, but I think we've got Roy, maybe Sam and Preston if they're still about, and Manna if they're there.
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it's
well done, mate.
Thank you.
There you go. There's your birthday present.
I did. My first ever win in this game was on my birthday.
It's podium time, and once again, it's a clear win for Alpine.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I went for like the Hulk Hogan.
To thrill us all. Congratulations to everyone at Alpine.
Did I hear my name or no? Yes, you did, Preston. We are asking chat for our calendar tracks for next year, so if you've got thoughts, drop them in.
Yeah, right. How are we going to arrange this? Because my chat is asking for your chat to go first, so they know what they're working with.
But I've only got a couple in live at the minute, so...
Yeah, me too. So, what if we go one by one, everyone picks 2 tracks? That seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How many do you have? Do you have 3?
I think so. I think I got 3 in at the minute. I think Mana's had to dive out. So Preston, Roy, and someone else. Right.
How about... Oh god, this is actually quite complicated across 2 channels. Right.
I'm happy to... If the people in my chat just chuck in a track that you want us to drive on, just do the one, then fill out the rest with your chat. Because that sounds like your chat's more bustly than mine.
All right, go for it. Your chat first.
Right.
So, ending season 1 with a win and fastest lap, and I had pole position stolen from me by my own incompetence.
Aww.
So now, while we're figuring out the calendar for next season,
got to figure out our drives first.
We have to sort out our drives. Tension abounds.
Oh no, I've got fucking Claire first. Right, love.
Is there a hint of jealousy in seeing your teammate up there on the podium? Or
Is there a hint of jealousy for seeing your teammate up in the podium?
Thank you, Beetlejuice.
your teammate had a great race today and was rewarded with a podium.
All right, my chat is saying you and I need to pick our favourites first.
Okay.
So mine's predictable, but I'm going to pick Monza.
Appreciate your time.
So hold on, let me get my phone out here, and I'll make a list.
Okay. So it's it's boring, but I love me some Austria. That is my favourite.
All right. So Austria. Monza. Right, chat, have at it.
We're doing Portimao because that's the bonus extra.
Oh, yeah, Portimao, and that's already chat approved.
Preston has said Belgium.
Yeah, that works for me. 6 remaining.
Okay, right.
Albert Park from Canaanite.
Oh, God, okay.
Yeah, I love that, actually.
I can't do that fast chicane in this game. It should be fun.
Right, we're halfway through. We've got 5 left, so keep them coming. Whoever's fastest. That's the only way we can do this logically.
Yeah, go on. Get in there, Roy. Pop in the pit. Oh, trophy. 2-player career complete.
Boom. Boom shakalaka.
Okay, Preston's already put in a second one, but we'll hold that. Just make sure Roy gets something in there.
Beetlejuice wants Kota because he hates us.
Thanks. Is the Nürburgring in there? No, Roy. It's the 2021 F1 season in general.
Yeah, unfortunately, Imola is coming, but it's not released yet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, that comes for whenever Season Pass 3 is coming, so middle of next month. Or Hockenheim, if the Hockenheim's not there either.
No, we don't have Hockenheim.
There is no Germany.
Turkey's not here yet either, is it?
Turkey's not... I don't know if they've confirmed Turkey or not anymore. I didn't think it was coming at all.
Ah, bugger. Oh, you bastard.
You know
Monaco.
Ah!
I knew someone was going to say it.
Dirtbags.
Fine. That's going to be a boring episode. Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Show me a list and I'll pick. Roy. Right, we'll have
All right,
to...
there's 2 left. Let's save one for Roy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'll be kind. I'll give you the list, Roy. So brace yourself. And I'll try and remember the ones we haven't run yet.
Mm-hmm.
So far that's not picked. We have Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Canada, Great Britain, China, Netherlands, France, Hungary, Japan, Russia.
Okay.
And maybe Imola's coming, but it's not ready yet. Abu Dhabi's in.
Yep.
And maybe Turkey and Saudi Arabia, but unconfirmed.
Maybe we should have a standing thing that whenever we get to a season, whatever the new track is that's come in, get us an automatic ad, even if it is Saudi bloody Arabia.
Yeah. So my chat's saying Canada.
Okay.
So that leaves Roy with the last vote. Are we going to have a season without Silverstone?
See, Preston put in Silverstone. He's also put in Japan as well. So if Roy doesn't say anything, maybe we do a Silverstone. Hurry, Roy! Hurry, Roy! Oh, you're waiting for me. Sorry, I didn't realise.
That's quite all right.
Oh, Roy's gone for
right.
Japan.
Boom. So we have our official calendar for next year. I will read it out in just a moment. I'm still getting a mismatched version warning on our saves.
Oh, I'm not.
It's all right. It'll go away. It will go away.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next
Right.
month.
What upgrade am I going to order? Let's see what's recommended.
I was tempted to say Abu Dhabi, but then I'm the only one in the world that actually likes that circuit. Roy. I like it when it's not in an F1 game. I quite enjoyed playing it in the grid game, bizarrely.
Do you know, I was about to say the exact same thing. Isn't it much better in grid?
Yeah, it feels like it's really good when you're playing with slower cars in Or like, I was going to say tank tops. That's not what I meant. Tin tops. I mean, you could drive in tank tops, but that would be worrying. There we go. Sorry.
Sorry, I was in a world of my own as well there.
No, I thought the game had frozen. I was like, no. Saving to online services. Go on, Cody's. Off you go.
There's a conversation going on in chat. Kane and I offered us a reprieve and said, well, if you want, swap Monaco for China. But Beetlejuice says no. If they have no chance of overtaking, they might focus on the podcast element. That's a fair point.
Oh, this is interesting. Did you get a performance rank for Alpine rather than actually the performance rank for me?
Yeah. Right, time to approach other teams. The moment of trial is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And just a quick rundown for everybody. The calendar for next season, not necessarily in order. Austria, Italy, Portugal, Belgium, Australia, United States, Monaco, Mexico, Canada and Japan. Oh, you get to go first.
What, in contract negotiations?
Yeah, Simon is negotiating. You will be returned to Team HQ when negotiations are complete.
Oh, this is so difficult.
Because you've got the higher acclaim, you get to pick first.
This is so difficult.
Remember, you don't have to sign on day one. You can negotiate tomorrow. Teams fight to sign Saitorimon. Saitorimon headed for Aston Martin. Oh wow, it's got like a Sky Sports news update. It seems Simon Smith will be having to balance a number of competing offers from teams keen to sign him. Are you getting approached? Or are you picking?
I picked.
Well, the rumour mill says you're going to Aston Martin. Oh, yeah, I've just got a message. Aston Martin. Oh, yeah, you've signed for Aston Martin. It was one of my predictions. It was one of my predictions.
I've done it because you've got it in my head of me. You were saying that I look like I'm a little royal person, or being like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So a royal Englishman prince driving for Aston Martin. Kick out that dirty stroll. Sad there's no Imola yet. I love the track. Yes, can't wait for Imola to be in the game.
We always get shirts, Kane and I. Always.
Always negotiating. Where's your team at? Where's your team?
Right, let me tell you my thoughts here, right?
Okay.
In these games, I've always been a Honda man. Like, in Formula 1, I've always been in Honda. And AlphaTauri, right? But part of me also wants to drag Williams to the top. Part of me considered Aston Martin, McLaren and Ferrari, taking Ferrari back to glory. But now you've signed for Aston Martin, I think it calls for a level of prestige.
Oh, I like this. Oh, Ferrari talks in trouble? Question mark.
Yeah, they did not like my approach.
Is that because your salary was too high? Oh, Preston's put in you're going to McLaren. Interesting. Okay. Teams dig deep to sign. Definitely zero. Definitely zero McLaren. Is it happening? Axle grinders. That's a porn site, surely.
Yeah, it does sound like one, doesn't it?
Wilnut News. McLaren and Definitely Zero talks grind to a halt. Are you asking for like high salary? Because I just went straight for medium.
No, I went for medium with Ferrari. Right, I think I'm going to. I have to make a third negotiation attempt, but I don't want to sign. But
Damn you with your 2 wins. And my 0 points still making me more acclaimed.
Problem is, I'm scared that I'll ask a team I don't want to sign for high wages and they'll find the money and then I have to sign the contract.
Team's screwing up a bid for definitely 0. Alpha Tauri! Negotiations failing. Advance.
Okay, so you have a contract for next season. I am out of contract so far. This is fun.
That's bizarre. So what happens now?
So we go back to Team HQ, we run another 24 hours, and then I can negotiate with 3 teams again. But the AI drivers can also negotiate in this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to let us jog on.
Hang on, bear with me. It's doing a... It was making me buy
predictions
a
predictions from chat that I'm going to be Hulkenberged.
Ah, so I now get to play with... Oh, as expected, Fernando Alonso has left the sport. Okay, bye. Ah, hang on.
What do you get to do here?
So I'm now in control of Aston Martin and get to do their stuff. Our new parts are completed. Oh, I can watch your negotiations. Go on then, let's have a giggle.
Kane and I saying I thought you were going to Alfa Romeo. Do you know, originally that was my plan, but I'm playing Alfa Romeo in my single-player career at the moment, and what variety is the spice of life, as they say.
Oh, that's odd. The way how the AI don't adapt their parts. So they've protected some of the parts, but not like the ones at the beginning of a chain, which I kind of get, but...
Yeah, because that gives you the biggest advantage.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the problem with changing teams as well. Like, you have no idea what state the car's going to be in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm waiting for you, and then I can.
Yes, apologies. I was just sorting out the.
Don't, please. You've got your own team to deal with now.
Seb Vettel, 8 million. Jesus Christ.
And yet McLaren can't find 2.7 million for me.
Waiting for pay. So I've said watch negotiations.
That is true. It is continually in a red state.
Waiting for player. It won't let me... So I pressed X for watch negotiations, but it won't let me do anything. It says it's waiting for you.
That's incorrect. It's only letting me negotiate with my current team, which is wrong.
Are you able to advance?
I have pressed advance. It's just giving me the option to renegotiate with Alpine. Like, the other option is greyed out. Hold on, I'm going to back out and I'll come back in. How about that?
Okay.
Because I think it's also this desync problem, because whenever you lose your connection,
yes,
I keep getting this thing that our saves are out of sync. Can you back out as well? And we'll both jump back in?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'll stay at Alpine if I have to, but part of the fun here is the negotiation. I love that we get like this Sky Sports update from each other's negotiations. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, my...
What they need to do though is allow more players in a career mode.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. 22 players in a 22-player grid. Oh, my game's kind of got stuck.
So's mine. Right, hold on. Let me switch cameras here. I'm going to quit out. And I'm going to restart the game. Because it's saved after you signed for Aston, so...
Cool. I'll have to cancel the stream, but yeah, if you are in... Oh, there we go, migrating host. I'm okay. Now it's caught itself up.
Right, and then I'm going to rejoin. and it should hopefully let me negotiate. It did save because Simon's still in there, so now I'm connecting. He's the host, so I will download his save file,
I'm now out
and that
again.
will resync us. I hope.
Resume. Oh,
What's up?
Why is it putting us back at Brazil?
Because that was the last round. We haven't started the new season yet.
Okay. Panic!
Oh no, hold on.
No network connection. You must be signed in.
Why does everything go wrong for us? It says here I've only got 26 points. So it's wiped out Brazil.
Same. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh well, on that crushing disappointment, we'll end the stream and I'll have to try and win that Grand Prix again. What the fuck, Codemasters? Really?
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to tweet them with this. Let's put Twitter to good use. This game has been so shitty online for us this year. I know we've always had like weird bugs and everything, but
it has been terrible. It has been absolutely terrible.
Right, it is a Failcast after all. It is, but even we managed to be able to get a game to fucking update itself. Right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining. There's a win that I won't get back. Yeah, thank you. We really do appreciate you joining us. We're sorry that it ended where it did, but we do at least have our calendar for next season worked out, and you'll get to enjoy the contract negotiations on the next stream. I guess what we could do, Simon, is if we find time, we'll do a short one race stream.
Yeah.
So we sort of catch ourselves back up, and then we will do the contract negotiations again. But again, thank you so much for watching. We're really, really appreciative, and we hope all of you are keeping nice and healthy. Not much from me this week because I've got to rebuild all this setup. But Simon, what are you up to? What can people see from you?
Aha! There is an announcement for a certain little esports event tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. UK time. If you own Circuit Superstars, more information about that. And a couple of other games that I've been sent for review that are coming out this week around narrative adventures.
Ooh, spectacular.
Should be good.
Well, in that case, keep your eye peeled to the Failcast F1 Instagram, and we will put out some kind of notification for when you can join us next, because this is obviously going to put us out of schedule. But for your next proper Failcast F1, you'll probably see us in about 2 weeks' time, I would imagine. Take care of yourselves. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Jim.